Anything else?
Welcome to the Left Hand Backhand Podcast. I'm your host, Link, joined always by Jeffrey. Do you
That's
prefer
me.
Jeffrey or do you prefer Jeff? Like, if you're going
Prefer
for professional circumstances, what do you like better?
at work. People call me Jeff because it's easier. But when I am introduced to people, I normally say, "My name is Jeff," because of that quote. So people really like to say that, or they refrain. And I say, "It's okay, you can say it," and then they go, "My name is Jeff,"
My name is Jeff. I
from
did
the
not see that
from the movie. Was it
on its
21
way.
Jump Street?
That's good. Well, it is a pleasure to have you here. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And that will be the title of this week's podcast. So thank you for tuning in. We have a draft as always. I'm going back to back skis with the draft ideas.
And you had a good one last week, which you didn't know if it would be good. It
Well,
definitely was.
it just depends on your reaction to it. But I like that we're just springing a draft on each other, like spring Texas, like good
Oh,
old
good old
rushing
spring.
spring water. We have a little bit of news and notes. Jeff's got a random segment idea for us, and I've got a random question for Jeff that I'm very excited to spring onto you again. We're just gonna use that
Whoa,
spring word.
whoa.
But okay. Well, Jeff, let's pass to you. What do you got for us first?
Hey, I mean, if we're gonna do it, I might as well. This is an NBA centric thing.
Mm-hmm.
A segment. So I thought I'd play a little. All right, let's dive right in. So
Beautiful.
NBA, NBA just released their all defensive teams.
They literally just released the All NBA teams too,
I did not see the all NBA, so we can add that into the discussion, but
as
they're both relevant.
in the last 15 minutes they dropped it.
Wow. All right. That's great timing.
Current
I
events.
wanted to bring that up because there was some discussion about the all defensive first team. Because
Yeah.
what changed this year, Lincoln? What was different?
Victor Wembanyama made first team All NBA or first team All Defense.
Yes, that is true. We love to see it, but it's also positionless.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, which is good. That's how it should be.
This, okay, you say that. You say how it should be.
Well, okay,
Why
sorry.
do
I
you
should
think
say
it should
caveat.
be that
I
way?
think it should just be like forward slash guard and then guard. Because
Okay.
I don't think that it should just be one center and two
You
forwards
don't
and
think
two guards.
why? Why shouldn't it just be one center?
Because we're in an ever changing positionless NBA. Anyways, like you could call Anthony Davis a power forward or you could call him a center.
You could,
And
but
that's
I'm
not
talking about true
but then that's not
centers,
fair to
true
like
center
Rudy
players.
Gobert. I mean, what do you call Victor
Like
Wembanyama then?
Jokic, Wemby's a center now. He is a center.
No, he's
He
not.
plays, he was a power forward and then he wasn't doing as well, so they switched him to full-time center where he's down low much longer.
Sure.
Pause. And he sorry. I was too quick for myself.
That was
Pause
pause.
again. Dang it. Uh he switched and he became more effective at his in his spot. So there is
Oh,
certain positions that are, I mean, at some point, a 7'4" guy is gonna be a center. He's gonna be, especially if that's where he plays the majority. Just because he can guard out there doesn't mean that's not his position. So my point is there are certain positions that are gonna be like that, but how do you gauge, especially a lot of NBA players who are upset about this? I know us as fans and media voted it to be different, but NBA players, a lot of them are upset because it feels like it's a new era of how you determine who's better. Because as you pointed
yeah,
out with Damian Lillard being on all NBA teams, he's missed out
because he was
quite a
behind
few
Steph.
years because it's Steph is just above him,
Yeah.
and a lot of times it wasn't a question. It was just that he was number two.
Yep.
And that's tough But if it had been positionless, how many more All NBA teams do you think he would have made? Or do you think it would have made it more difficult anyway because of the amount of centers that may have taken his spot?
Could have been either way, truthfully.
So for
I
you
mean,
think that's not
realistically, probably
relevant?
less in terms of the centers. I think defensive all NBA teams, it does the defensive players have a stronger chance to make an all NBA team at a center type position just because of the shot blocking, the general effect of like their defensive team statistics, right? Like you
Mhm.
can see way more from the center type position, whereas like a guard, aka Drew Holiday, who made All NBA second team, like you have to be very clear above and beyond everybody else just to notice their impact on the game, right? Like even a player like Lou Dort, who is a solid wing defender, like he's not on these, right?
Yeah. Well, no, and like who was it? Jaden McDaniels?
Yeah, from the
Who was the one that
T-Wolves.
people were upset about that he didn't make, a team, an all NBA defensive team. And they're upset because of maybe he should have, or, some people who were snubbed from the first team. And I get it, but also
Yeah,
it's tough to compare defensive players who are, over 7 foot or 6'11" compared to guards who may be more of a scoring threat than a defensive threat. And how do you gauge who does what? Even if they play both positions really well, they may be snubbed because they're not as effective in the paint. They're not going to have the numbers like, Anthony Davis or
yeah.
Gobert or Wemby. So that's
I guess
it's a weird.
I didn't realize that it was a full positionless team. I thought it was like the All-Star format where
No,
it's
it's
guard
full.
guard, forward forward, and then guard center or guard
I
forward,
mean, and
like
yeah,
the
and you saw the
slash
team. I mean, it was
slash.
what? Gobert,
Go
Wemby,
Adebayo
Adebayo,
and Herb Jones.
Herb Jones, who was the
Herb.
smallest one on the list,
Yeah, he's a wing
and
defender. The rest are
yeah,
all
most of none of there's no guards on that team. But the
is
second team is all guards, all
all
small
guards.
guys.
Alex Caruso,
Caruso.
Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels, Jalen Suggs, and Derek White. Shout
I
out
did
to Pup.
not know Suggs was like that. I did not. I didn't watch
I
enough Magic basketball to know that.
Yeah, I didn't watch enough Magic basketball either, but I listened to the Hoop Collective podcast with Brian Windhorst, and I also listened to
Good
the
old
Low Post
Bry.
podcast, and they had both of those podcasts had been giving Jalen Suggs all the defensive praise pretty much the majority of the season. So I knew that he was a good defender. I didn't realize that he was all
McDaniels
NBA
is who I
level,
saw.
but
Like, I didn't know Suggs was on that level yet.
right.
But
So it
Caruso
is
has all I've
interesting.
always liked defensively. I've always thought Caruso was a very smart, gritty defensive player. Aaron Gordon was solid this year, but like, Wemby, just seeing him be the first rookie, which I thought Tim Duncan was on the first team as a rookie, and he and Robinson, they were both older. They both had college experience, years of being in college and
Well,
getting
and
bigger and
military
getting stronger
experience.
and military experience. And they still never made a first team. And Wemby, as a rookie, 20 years old, 19 and 20 years old, made a first team for the first time in NBA history.
Pretty
That just
dang
shows
cool.
you that the rookie of the defensive player of the year award should have been much closer than it was.
Yes, it
It should
does,
have been
100%.
neck and neck at minimum.
Yes, but we don't need to get into that.
No, it's just further proof for me to
Yeah.
see that that was the case. So that's a very
I
interesting
there's a
thing.
part of me that does like that they're giving all these centers the proper praise because if you did classify them as centers, Wembenyama would be on second team, Gobert would be first team, and Adebayo and Anthony Davis would be fighting for that third team spot, possibly.
I
Right?
agree.
So
I agree.
I think that this does represent the best defensive players in the NBA. So I do appreciate that side of it. However, I still think it should be the all-star roster format just
Mm.
because that gives a better representation of the best defenders at their general position, right? Like you could put Jimmy Butler as like the forward slash guard position, you know, kind of that.
There's a little more breathing room with
Yes.
that side than there is strictly positionless or only their position they've played the majority of their season. Like that gives it more room, which I agree with. I just this year maybe it worked out with the defensive players, but other years it probably won't. It'll be more controversial.
Well, can I throw out the All NBA teams to you?
Yes, please go for it. I'd love to
This
hear
is
it because
breaking
I haven't
news
seen
to
it.
Jeff,
I
potentially
haven't
to
seen
some
it.
of you that definitely care about all this stuff.
Here's a question: should I try to guess them in order? The brother,
Um,
should I guess them, or do you want to just say them straight
I
up
think it
and
would I
see?
think it would take too long to guess all three teams.
No, no,
So
no. I'm saying just all defensive first, all NBA first team, just the first five. I don't want to do
sure.
all three.
Give us
I
your
just want to see if
guesses.
I get. All right. Number one, I got Shea.
Yep, Shea
Shea
is
on
the
there.
is the
Okay.
point guard,
Okay.
which they
Luca.
did keep the positions for these.
Okay. Luca.
Or they no, I think actually, sorry, I lied. They kept the uh
All-star
like the
format.
all-star type format. Yeah,
Okay.
there are
Cool.
two centers between all three teams, but
Oh,
none on the third
a
team.
lot of stretch
So
players.
it's yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So
All right.
Luca.
Yep, Luca.
Okay.
Yes, Shea.
Jokic.
Yes, Jokic.
Okay. Two more.
Yep. They're both in the
Uh,
East.
they're both in the East. Embiid. Oh
Nope.
wait, Embiid didn't qualify.
Correct. He didn't
Okay,
play enough games.
um, lefty.
Nope.
Um, oh, really? Not from the Knicks?
One's a small forward, one's a power forward. Although the way that they're
Giannis.
listed here, I think they should be flipped. Yes, Giannis. He's listed at the
Giannis.
small forward, but I think he's a power
Really?
forward. Yeah. And the
He's
power forward, I think, is actually the small forward.
hmm. The other one's in the East. Wow, the East
No,
did well then.
number one team in the East.
Uh, Jason Tatum, I guess.
Jason
If
Tatum.
he's gonna they're gonna give him that spot.
I think they gave it to him purely because his team is the best this year.
I mean, yeah.
It feels like it's kind of the honorary spot. Like
Hmm.
as in there's probably a tiebreaker between him and somebody on the second team, which second team, very surprised by this.
Wait, here's a question. Did LeBron make the third team? Or did
Yes.
was he did?
Yes.
He made an all NBA team in his 21st NBA season.
It's crazy. And
So
yep. Yes. So the all NBA second team, you got Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis.
AD, okay.
He was his numbers were down this year. His impact was down this year. I don't like that pick personally, but
Yeah, he could have been third team, and I would
he's
have
the
been
only
fine
other
with it.
center on here. Kevin Durant.
Hmm.
That one,
Did Booker make a team?
yes, he's third team.
Wow,
Uh,
okay.
Anthony Edwards, who arguably could have been first team over Jalen or Jason Tatum.
The
That's the one that I
consistency is
could
what
have.
was the toughest, I think.
Yep. And then Kawhi Leonard.
No way.
Yeah.
Get Kawhi off the
Get
second
it off.
team.
Get it
Get him
off.
off. There's
Especially over
no
Tyrese
reason.
Halliburton.
No way should Kawhi, especially. How did he even qualify? He missed so many games.
He must have just barely
He
met
played
the
65 or 66 or whatever. That's insane.
I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh. Please
Third
find out.
team, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron, and Demonis Sabonis.
Sabonis deserved it. He
Yes.
deserved it. He was a double double freak this year. I think he had 50, 40 or 50 double doubles.
Kawhi played 68
Insane.
games this year.
He barely qualified.
Yeah.
And a lot of those games he did not play a lot of minutes.
Correct. Yes.
So
Like
that's
I think he was
he
semi
barely.
hunting for it.
That's unreal that he qualified
So
and Harden didn't.
if
Or
I had
Paul
to
George
switch it, I would put in Paul George over Kawhi Leonard. Personally, Paul
hmm
George had a great
from the
year.
same team. He's the better
Yes,
player this
100%.
year.
I would put Anthony Edwards in first team over Jason Tatum, personally. Um, and I would put Tyrese Halliburton in the second team and put Paul
Very
George in
fair.
the third team instead of Kawhi, personally.
Very, very
Otherwise,
fair.
it's you're nitpicking at that point, but those are the obvious ones to me. But again, this literally just got dropped Wednesday evening. So crazy.
I am surprised that Karl Anthony Towns didn't get anything for like third team, maybe because he did have a great season. Even though I don't love him, no pun intended.
He is so sus.
He's very sus. He's like It's like I can't even do an impression. I don't even want to do it.
He
It's
just
so funny
he
though.
goes from being like a tough guy to all of a sudden he just has this real soft feminine voice, and you're like, wait, what? Like
You just don't know what his
it's like a
vibe
light
is
switch.
every time you. And they made Anthony Edwards made fun of him in his interview
Yeah,
after this last game where he was like,
yeah,
"You sure?"
that's so funny. But
Really good. Well, thank you for going over those because I was very curious about who
yeah,
made that. At least I felt like that was warranted that first team.
yeah. Okay, well, in other current events, your boy had a disc golf tournament this weekend, or not this weekend,
Ooh.
yesterday. And it was a doubles tournament, which was really fun up at Beaver Ranch, which is this really cool mountain course, probably only like 45 minutes from me, which is nice in this little town called Conifer. And your boy won a doubles tournament, which was pretty cool.
Look at all those birdies.
Yeah, so here's the crazy part. We didn't play that great, but we didn't
How many
make
times have you played this course before?
um maybe 15,
Wow, okay, so you knew it very well.
12 to 15 times, maybe.
You know kind
Because
of the tougher holes and you know where to look.
when I've gone and played this course, I've like played it twice in one day just because you this one is actually a pay to play course. So if I'm going to pay for it, it's an
Oh
all day
yeah, that's
pass.
smart. That's
So I'm
smart.
like, might as well get 2 rounds in here. And I played it a couple times where I took my brother there. I took some buddies and we played multiple times in one day. Um, but yeah, so tournament was not great weather. We got snowed on. There was a lightning delay, which was annoying, but whatever.
Super annoying.
And I was a little bit chilly because I brought a windbreaker and not an actual rain jacket and didn't expect to get Dippin' Dots snowed down on us.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, yeah, it was
It was
crazy.
like that snow hail mix.
Don't say hail.
Sorry.
But yes, it was it was like Dippin' Dots on us. But yeah, so this is our scorecard for those of you viewing on the tube. We didn't. You'll notice that
No,
we didn't
no
have too
bogey.
many birdies, but we had zero bogeys. And
Pretty consistent throughout the round though.
if you look at second place, which second place was tied between multiple people, I want to say. Yeah, two people tied for
Five
second
under.
place.
Oh, one under. You
They were
guys
one under,
wrecked.
and they had a double and three bogeys, and the other team had one, two, three, four, five bogeys. So really, the difference was that we just didn't make
Bogey free
costly
round is
mistakes,
impressive.
and especially with this format. The format was kind of cool. I'd never played a tournament like this before. We both teed off from the tee. So like we both threw our shots on the hole and then we chose whose shot we wanted to take. And from there, it was alternate shot until completion of the hole.
So it was only best throw off the first throw.
Correct.
And
Yep.
then it was alternating. So that way you get a good pick of your first drive.
Correct. So Jared and I actually game planned ahead of time and we said, okay, on the first hole, I want Jared to go first because his normal stock shot on this hole is going to be a little bit safer. And if you're safe and you're in play, then I can be a little bit more aggressive and try.
Don't say urine.
Um, well,
You said urine.
I'm sorry, but I can if I want to.
Okay.
But Jared's drive was solid, so I could take a little bit more of an aggressive line and try to get closer to the basket. I didn't, and instead I just laid up, and then he had the
So
par
so
putt.
you chose when you took the risk on it on whose shot was gonna basically be safer. They can
Correct.
still throw it well, but they know what they're doing. So depending on
Yeah,
the shot angle, and since you're a lefty,
left
you
hand
know,
backhand.
and backhand.
Yeah, so it was really fun, even though the weather was not great. Shout out to Jared for persevering and pushing through because he was up the day before throwing up and doing the sick
Oh,
thing all day
graphic.
long. Yeah, not to be too graphic, you
Not to
know.
be too graphic, but
But we want to provide some context here. We want you to know how terribly sick he truly
yeah.
was.
I mean, he honestly he went to Jared.
He, well, he was Jared.
He was Jared.
He is Jared
He's Jared.
from Subway,
No,
from
too
Sprint.
soon. Never too early.
Wait, who's the
I'm
guy that
s-
was at
I'm
who's the can you hear me now?
Guy was from
Good.
Can
And
you
then
hear
he
me
went to
now? And
Sprint.
then went to Sprint and he was a traitor and everyone knows him as a backstabbing traitor.
Yeah.
As exactly.
Yeah, what a loser. Good move,
Don't remember his
Sprint.
name. Don't even know his name. That's how much of a traitor he is.
Yeah. Good move,
He's a
Sprint.
traitor. He's a traitor Joe.
Ah, yeah. Well, you know.
Well, good job. I haven't played
Yeah.
disc golf in so long. When I see scorecards and see and hear it, like it makes me want to go play a course. I just know I'm so terrible that I'd only want to go play with somebody because otherwise it's just not as enjoyable. You can't show off a cool throw unless someone's watching.
Yeah, like when I go play a round of disc golf just all on my own, typically I'm doing that to like either clear my head or to get like practice in before a tournament or something like that. Like I got a new
Stay
disc and I
sharp.
wanted to throw it a bunch and test it out or whatever. Whereas it is definitely more fun to play with a group of people. I was trying to be careful with my words there. If
You were very careful. It was
if Jared and
impressive.
I would have played MPO, which is the mixed professional open division, we played MA1, which is the advanced division. We would have been solo third place, which would have been cool. And we really didn't even play that well. We just didn't make mistakes. Looking at our scorecard, hole 5, I threw a perfect shot to the basket, and I turned around and walked back to my bag, and then all of a sudden, the other guys that we were playing with, they're like, "No, it's rolling away," and it like rolled like 45 feet away. And I was like, "What?" It was literally
Oh,
underneath the
wow.
basket. I don't even know how it happened. And then
So
hole 6 that
unfortunate.
we did birdie, I almost aced it, which was insane. That was really cool. It like skipped
Woo.
and went just right behind the basket, and we have it on video. It's pretty cool. Although Jared's filming skills on that hole was not ideal, but it was mostly because he was excited that there was an ace run, which totally understand.
Well, you want to post that video in the first comment of the YouTube when this is posted so that viewers can see
Mm.
that video?
Nah, go check out my Instagram and I will post it there.
Oh, fair, fair. Good plug.
So yeah, that was my tournament this weekend. So or not this weekend, yesterday. Middle of the week tournament, kind of random, but it was really fun, and
Solid.
I love playing tournaments because I just like the competition, and that's how it is.
Yeah,
Last
very good.
question before we get into our draft. I've got a very serious question for you, Jeff, and I
Is that
hope that you'll
actually
be able to
serious?
answer this. Yes, it is. I
Okay.
hope that you'll be able to answer this because I'm a little bit nervous that because I don't fully know the answer either. But
Okay.
in a 7 game series, who would win, J or L?
Like the first letter of each of our names?
The letter J or the letter L? Who would win in a 7 game series?
It's a great question. If we're going to take this logically, J's are typically pretty rare, but they are very important. They pack a punch
They got a
in
little
the
bit more
words they're used in.
spice.
When you hear the word jelly, you hear the word jam, you hear the word, like Major Tom, you've got the J's. J's they give you some extra oomph. L's can be strong, but they also are used in excess. There's double L's all the
Double
time,
L's a
but also
lot.
people are holding that L. So hey, hold that L, take that L. That's a good phrase. So L's have their importance. First game, I think that's a toss up at home. I think a J would take it at home, but
We're
I think
assuming that J has home court advantage here.
I would say for me, J has home court advantage because
It's
they
it's
have the X
first in the
factor.
alphabet.
Yeah.
It's there.
L, however, L has the amount of times L is used gives it that extra burst because it is common. It is needed. There's so
Exactly.
many words where if you didn't have, the word jelly would be just J without the L. So you need it.
Be J.
It'd be J. And it's just J. It
My
just has
my
no fluff.
my
But
name is J.
jelly. My name is, but
Yeah.
it's sad. So you need that. You need
Yeah.
those L's. So I think they would steal game two away. So it would be tied 1-1. And I think L's also take game two.
You mean game 3?
Yeah, game three. I think they take game three as well. But the Jays obviously You know,
They're gonna come
they're
back
they're gonna
and
they're
take game
gonna
four.
they're gonna have a comeback.
Yep.
At game four, tie it 2-2. I think I think there's a, you know, last minute questionable call between, that fifth game. And I think that goes the L's way.
I do too.
I
But
think that goes the L's way because they
and
they
so
have
so
that they have a poll,
if we
a
pause right
poll.
here,
Okay,
L is up
3-2.
3-2 with
L's
two
up
to go.
3-2.
But for me,
And
I feel like Jay is supposed to win. But like it's hard to imagine Jay winning two straight to win the series. You know what I mean?
yeah, especially one away.
Right.
That's
Well,
it's possible, but I
yeah.
give them like a 25% chance. So
Like if
realistically,
Jay wins game six,
realistically,
they're winning game seven because they're going back home, right?
that
They're
was like the Heat
comfortable.
versus the Spurs. That was Heat versus Spurs 2013.
Okay.
Heat won game six. There was no way they were losing game six. So, Spurs were up 3-2 in that series. So, same with Jay. Jay feels like the Spurs here. And if L takes it,
No, L is
uh,
way more the Spurs. Jay is definitely more Miami.
maybe.
Jay's got that spice to
I'm
it. Jay's
biased
got
here.
that Cuban spice to it. You know what I mean?
And
Like
L is very consistent.
L is very much just like you need it. It's not flashy.
Vanilla,
It gets the job
vanilla.
done.
Yeah,
I
fair.
mean, lollipop
Honestly,
is another great
I'm
L
giving
word.
the odd of the series to the L's here, just off of frequency of use and importance in language. I mean,
Interesting.
we wouldn't have the word language without L, but I wouldn't have
Not
the
in the
word,
English language.
I wouldn't
That's for
have joy without J.
I wouldn't have
So
my daughter JJ without the JJ.
yeah, we wouldn't have J.J. Abrams. We wouldn't have J.J. Reddick. We
No,
wouldn't have so many
absolutely
J's.
not.
I mean, think of all those
100%.
names. We also wouldn't have Luca.
We wouldn't have Jeff.
Well, I mean, my name is Jeff. So L's, I think, take it in the long run, but J's have a surprise factor that just you can't count them out.
That's
Can't count the J
interesting.
out.
I think it's a great series. I would love
It
to
is a
see this
good series.
actually. I mean, this is more hypothetical than anything else, really, but I would love to see this take place, truthfully.
I mean, metaphorically, of course.
And physically.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and spiritually too,
100%. Yeah. But I
in
mean,
your heart and your mind and your brain.
and my brain tells my heart that it's okay.
But
But no, I mean, all is fair. I think it's a great series
in love and war.
in Love and War, of course. And I think it's interesting. So let me know if
I like that.
let us know in the comments who you would take in a 7 game series, J
You
versus
agree or
L,
disagree?
and also if there's another matchup that we're kind of just overlooking at this point, truthfully, because I mean, in all reality of it, L and J are just two pieces of a huge league. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah,
there's a lot more that we can definitely get into. So let us know. Well, with that being said, let's move into the draft, eh?
let's do it. I'm interested. Another banger.
Another banger. Okay, so uh
Hey, so. Mm.
I was in an all-day training meeting on Monday, trying to stay awake, trying to just keep my mind preoccupied doing something, right? And I had a draft idea, which I told you last night, and we both kind of agreed it's a little bit too magnanimous. There's just not
Oh, is that
enough.
your big word of the day?
My big
That was
word of the day,
impressive. Wow, look at you.
BOWD. Uh,
Be-
or no, BWD.
Yeah, I love being the big man on campus.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that not what that stands for? Oh, bring your own drink. That's right.
Oh yeah, bring
Oh,
bring your own Jeff.
yob. Bring your own. I mean,
Uh, so I decided to continue pursuing different draft ideas, and the idea popped into my head: Mario Kart characters, but not
you
just any Mario
dog.
Kart. We're going Mario Kart Wii because
Mario Kart. We.
there's a larger breadth of characters here, and we are eliminating the baby versions of these characters.
Hmm.
So I'm going to share my screen because I have it pulled up. Pause. Let me know when you're ready to go. And per usual, you get the choice as to whether you want the first or the second pick.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with. I want the second pick. I'm gonna make you pick.
Interesting. You want the 2-3 turn? I like it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's more valuable here.
All right. Well, I'm going to cross out the baby row here because we don't want them. And
No.
with my first overall pick, true to my nature, I'm
Wow,
taking Luigi.
what a pick! What a pick! I would not
I
have.
I think that there is a better character that might be worthy of the general consensus 101. However, being true to myself and also way too scared of you stealing Luigi before the fourth pick comes back to me. So I got to go Luigi 101.
Okay, very fair, very fair. Uh, okay, I'm taking my number one pick out of this group. You know, not always the most loved, but he honestly deserves some love because he had some quick cars. Uh, I'm taking Little Bones,
Dry Bones.
Dry Bone. He's a little underrated, I think.
No, I think that's a great pick. I'm a
Dry
little
Bones,
surprised it's at the 102, but I do love the pick. Dry Bones is a great player. He's a great player.
great player, great player. But with the three,
I mean, his name is a little sus,
Dry
but
Bones,
I mean,
he, it is what it
what can
is.
you do? You can't change your name.
He owns it. He owns it.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard him go by the DB. However, it's also a little bit close to DK, so not everybody he didn't never really picked up. The DB didn't really pick up the way that he wanted it to. But I mean, I still respect him for trying to live his truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take him here, but uh, there's a few directions I could go. I just think everybody knows how classic this character is. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, little Nintendo
Stop
Wii,
it.
love Nintendo DS, Mario Kart. I love
Dude,
playing, and
I destroyed that game.
it was a good time. I'm
Yeah.
taking
I assume you
Yoshi.
said Yoshi. I couldn't hear you, but
I yelled at Yoshi. Yes, I went
that
Yoshi.
is what I would have taken at the 101 had
Yeah.
I just been trying to go for the popular vote. Because
Mhm.
he probably is the 101, truthfully, but
I mean, I wouldn't have picked Luigi. Again, Luigi deserves it up near the top because he always played second fiddle, and he is diabolically good in this game.
I that's your big word for the day. So good job, Jeff.
Diabolic.
We're proud of you.
You notice
And
everyone we picked so far. I mean, we got the big noses, the big facial nose section, all three of
well,
them, which is
there's a few more big noses hanging around here.
it's true.
So chances are pretty high.
There is. Thank you for saying it that way.
Oh man. Woo! True to my form. I'm staying true to myself. I am taking Diddy Kong.
Great pick. Great pick.
And Jeff, can you please tell the
Diddy's solid.
audience why I'm taking Diddy Kong?
He loves the Diddy Kong because back in the good old college days, Lincoln, Devin, and I all had nicknames because we played Super Smash Brothers.
We did.
We had our characters we liked to play as, but we also compared each other to those names.
Well, it also stemmed from a video, if you remember.
And we also have a video which shall remain not shown here,
Yeah, we
but
will
it were
not
the
publicize
different
that.
characters doing their voices, their
Nah,
actions, and doing that. So we had good old Diddy Kong.
was
We
me.
had Donkey Kong.
Was Devin.
And for some reason, I was compared to Wario, which I
Oh,
hate that that was my comparison, but
that was a great Wario.
eh,
Good job.
eh, eh, he was awful. So and then we had a group chat, which we continue to have with those nicknames in it, and we just know.
Yep.
So
Is
we have a
Wario DK
good
and Diddy
history,
2.0. That's the
good
current
history
version of
there.
it. Yeah. So I had to be true to myself and take Diddy Kong.
Hmm.
Now
Diddy,
here is where I feel like the draft opens up, truthfully. Right?
hmm
I got I got Luigi's probably a medium-sized player if we're looking at the board in terms of size. Diddy
yeah,
Kong's a smaller dude. I would probably put Yoshi. Yoshi's got a wide base, so I'd probably put him as a
he
medium-sized
can be
character
in there.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty quick, especially for how wide his base is. And Dry Bones, truthfully, he's just a bag of bones.
he's a big bag of
He's
bones.
a bag of bones. And so from here, I'm going to take Toad.
Hey, Toad was in my top two available.
I
Top
just
two
think he
available
wouldn't
picks
come.
there.
Oh, dang it. He wouldn't drop back to me at the back half of the draft. And so I needed to make sure
Yeah,
that I got Toad on my team. So
yeah.
thanks, Toad, for joining Team Link. Let's go.
Very fair. Very fair. And Toad is my go-to after I've done those other ones. I rotate back to Toad when I can. It's just something about the small character with the acceleration in the game and the sounds. Toad makes some fun little
Oh,
quips during the game. Very
100%.
good.
Great point.
Uh,
I didn't even
the
think about that when I was thinking about my draft, but you're
the quips
totally right.
are solid. But
You gotta love a
if
good
I'm
quip.
using that, if I'm using that as well and just overall power and strength, I'm taking Donkey Kong.
Wow.
Donkey Kong was my next available. I mean, he always
Of
was
of the
reliable
big
as the big
racers, he's the
guys,
best one. Yeah.
as the big guy. I can't fault him for his strength. And again, I that's my big guy. I don't really use big characters super often. It's
But
strategic.
especially in like a balloon battle, like he's a great
Oh,
character to
big
have in
time.
that. He's gonna
He's good for in
dominate.
certain levels where I feel like there weren't as many edges and like boundaries. I can knock people off on the bump, and I will have a little bit better
Yeah.
control of my car
Yeah.
instead of being bumped.
Are you okay if we take out this bottom row right here?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay. We are
I would
eliminating a
only
group
be
of racers here.
Ghosty. Ghosty is the only one I would have even thought of, but I
King Boo,
almost
you
never
mean?
used, yes, King Boo. I almost never used any of
Yeah, we
these
took out
fools.
King Boo, Rosalina, and I don't even remember his name, and then Ghost Bowser. So, Jeff,
There's
with your fourth pick,
fourth pick,
where are you looking right
fourth
now?
pick. Again,
We
I
got
always
some
go
great
back.
racers left on the board here, you know?
I gotta go back to Big Nose group, and I gotta go with little Koopa. Gotta go with him.
Ah, yeah,
Love
that's the
Koopa.
right pick. I think that is the correct pick here is Koopa Troopa.
Again, Dry Bones and Koopa Troopa, they're kind of neck and neck there. Koopa, I mean, Dry Bones as well is always cooler for me. It was just he's the bones.
Yeah,
That dude is the bones, but
so correct me if I'm wrong, but is Dry Bones just a dead Koopa? I
he's a corrupted Koopa. He's the
Forgive me for
dead
being
corrupted
ignorant.
Koopa.
I don't fully know the lore behind Dry Bones. I
Yeah.
just know that
He's like
he's a good dude.
zombified. He's a zombified Koopa that has been corrupted.
Okay, so you pretty much kind of took like cousins or brothers at that point. Is that
They're
right?
brother, band of brothers. They fought against with each other and against each other.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
brutal
great
out there.
series.
The Mario world is a great
It
series.
is. Great group of guy.
Great group of
Um,
gentlemen.
okay, so we have a few good racers left on the
I'm
board
very
here.
surprised Mario is still available. I know that it's like feels like an obvious top pick, but
Hmm.
I didn't think he would fall this far in the draft. I thought he'd be taken three or four.
You know, I think in an ordinary draft, he would for sure be off the board at this point. I'm just such a Luigi guy. I gotta stay loyal to my guy.
Do your
And
best Luigi impression.
yahoo!
Nice,
Thank you.
nice,
Uh,
very good.
um, I'm not gonna take Mario. Not any disrespect to him, but I don't want to hurt Luigi's feelings and just
On your team, yeah.
they're very similar, and so I don't want to put that pressure on Luigi, you know, especially taking
I
Mario
know
so
I
late
have
in
a
this
very
draft.
strong pick. I know between the two of who you're gonna very
Um,
strong feeling, but we'll see.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm right.
Well, I um I think I need a little bit of girth on my team too, just to kind of combat your
Mm,
Donkey Kong. And so
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bowser.
Yep. I knew Bowser was there. Bowser was the right pick.
I forgot to
Bowser's
change
Bowser's a big boy.
my proper color here. So I got
Look
Bowser
at
off
you.
the
You're
board
at
here.
Connect Four. Look at you.
Thank you. I did
Got
not plan that,
four across. That was
but
impressive.
I win.
You
So
win. I did whatever my pick is does not matter.
yes. And for my final pick,
Mm,
I'm taking Birdo.
no way. That's horrible. That's a horrible pick.
And
That is
and
diabolical. I don't even
there's
care
a
for why. That's
there's a
awful.
backstory as to why I took Birdo, but um, my whole goal with your second pick being Yoshi, my whole goal is to try to distract Yoshi on the course. Yoshi is just smitten with Birdo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when Yoshi turns around and he sees Birdo on there, he's like, huh?
Stop
He's just
it.
like, huh? He does not understand what he's looking at. There's no reason Birdo should ever be on the course with any of these fools. No way.
No, I
Birdo is
mean,
not. Birdo is
I
on there with the top and the bottom group.
I mean, with my top three picks being Luigi, Diddy Kong, and Toad, I'm already going to be in three of the top five positions. I got Bowser in the back to beat up, whoever else you've got hanging around. And then I
Pick three in the
truthfully just,
top five.
oh,
You,
100%.
you don't think Yoshi's in the top at all? Wow,
I said
that's some.
three of the top five. I think Yoshi absolutely is in that top five. And I think either Dry Bones or Koopa, one or the other, is probably also in that top five. So, but
You
I got
think
three of the top
you
five
think you
racers.
edge
Like,
me out 3-2?
I'm not trying to edge you out ever, Jeff.
Don't goon or edge me. Okay.
No, sir. But
Okay.
I got I got Birdo to combat your Yoshi, and I think you're kind of sleeping on that pick right there. As in, you don't realize the damage that
No,
Birdo's going to do.
I do realize because I mean Birdo isn't capable of too much damage on the course if her opponent, my number five pick, is obviously what the game is named after, which is Mario.
Oh, come
Mario
on, Jeff. You're
deserves to
supposed to
go on the
take
board.
Wario.
I'm not taking Wario. I
Yes, you are.
refuse to take Wario or Waluigi. Awful.
All
Won't
right,
take either of them. I'm out to win. All
we're
right.
giving you Mario and we're giving you
I
Wario.
do not want him. That's a slight to my team. I want Mario only. You cross him out right now.
No, I on my list I put Mario slash Wario here
Dude,
for you.
no, you can't. You
I
can't do a
can.
slash. Mario
I
deserves
can.
his own spot. He doesn't
I'm
share.
giving you a sixth racer, dude. Like,
You don't want one. I want five. Ugh.
okay, legit question here because if I didn't take Birdo, I was probably going to take Daisy. So
Peach, really? Peach is snubbed over Daisy? That's an
I
interesting
was,
pick.
come on, dude. You know Luigi and Daisy have a fling.
Only because it's forced. It's a forced
Oh,
fling. It's
yeah,
not
a
it's
little
not
bit
natural.
forced, but like
It's
I'm
not
Team
natural.
Daisy still, anyways.
Mm.
I mean, the last Luigi Mansion, like there's chemistry there. Luigi's starting to break out of his shell, proverbial shell. But I mean, all is fair.
Proverbial cell.
All is fair. And if you had to take, let's say, if we're gonna build out the rest of this team, just to try to be fair, you of course get Wario. I'll take Waluigi just to split the duo up, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
only fair that you have Mario and I have Luigi, so I'll take Waluigi. You take Wario, right? You can have
I have Peach.
Peach. That's
Okay.
only seems right to me, truthfully. And now I've got two last picks, and you get to take your choice between Toadette or Baby Bowser.
Oh, Baby Bowser. Baby
Oh,
Bowser.
wow, really? Okay,
Yeah.
sick.
Toadette's nice, but you know, I like, you have Toad, you can have Toadette. They go together.
Yeah.
Baby
And
Bowser, I can have.
truthfully,
I
I
think he
I
goes well with
appreciate that.
yeah. He goes well with little dry bones. I think they're pals.
Yeah, I heard that too. I
So
I guess I've never seen them together personally, but I heard that Dry Bones and Baby Bowser are buddies.
they're
Like,
buddies. They golf. They do a lot of fun things.
oh, I
They
don't know.
they actually frawl.
Okay, sick. Well, I
They
mean,
love to frawl. They speak Pig Latin together. They, are
that makes way more sense because both of
Phi
them
Beta
got way too
Sigma.
short of arms to actually golf, but I could
Uh,
see them
all of them go
doing
like this.
some good
I have a
disc
big
golf.
head and little arms.
Don't
That's
think
what
this
they do.
plan was really well thought out. Uh, although,
Great.
I mean, if we're gonna break this thing down, Dry Bones is the second best pick in Mario Party.
He is the second best pick in Mario Party. Borderline. Borderline first, but
Borderline, 100%. Yeah,
borderline
yeah.
on a good day.
On a good day. I mean, Luigi's still my guy. I'm gonna stand by him. Team L. Let's go. We're a bunch of losers.
Luigi.
It is what it is. It's my name.
Bunch of
Wear it out.
Luigi.
All right. Well, thank you for participating in that draft, Jeff. How do you feel?
A good one. I am really. So, what made you think of that draft? What just brought that to your mind?
I was trying to think of characters that you and I both have a history with, that we truly know, we know well. And then I thought about our team name or our group chat being Wario Diddy DK. And I was like, you know what? Let's not do Super Smash Bros. Because that's way too big of a world to try to do a full draft with it. Right? There's
Yeah.
just too many characters. And so I was like, okay, let's shorten it to Mario Kart Wii, since that one has a good depth of character, but not crazy too many, right? So like we had the baby Wario or baby Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Daisy. Truthfully, nobody's using baby Daisy. You know what I mean? Like, no offense to her, she's not getting
No one,
used.
no one's using Baby Daisy.
Yeah, I mean maybe baby Peach because she's pretty dang cute.
Maybe Baby.
Maybe. Well, call me baby.
Oh, well, don't call me maybe.
Okay. But yeah, so thanks for participating in the draft, Jeff. Your team: Dry Bones, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Koopa, and Mario slash Wario. It's a it's a good team right there for sure. Uh, and then I went on the edge because my first three picks were so good that
You were edging, dude. You were edging
we'll see
pretty
if
good there.
the polls will help pick me back up with my last two picks being a little bit more stratagem than poll winning picks. I got Luigi, Diddy Kong, Toad, Bowser, and Birdo. So
Bowser deserves to be at the four.
I
He
truthfully should have taken him
rightfully
at the
deserves to
five.
be.
If I had to
He
do it over
deserves to
again,
be at
I
the
would
four.
probably like if I didn't care about the dynamic of my team, I'd probably take Mario at my four and then Bowser at the five. But
You were trying to build a congruous team.
yeah, you gotta have players playing in specific roles, right? You can't just take all point
Well,
guards.
special
You know what I mean?
teams, special players.
Tuesday.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Speaking of which, did you see his interview with Caleb or yeah, Caleb
Theo
Presley?
Vaughn. Oh, no, I saw Theo Vaughn's and Zeke Presley's.
Caleb Presley's interview was pretty
Wait,
funny.
oh, is that the one with where he's talking across from him and he's talking about when he
He's
was
got the
he's like
mustache and
when
the
you were a
long hair.
baby and he's like were you when you were a baby did you and he was like yeah I did all natural yeah that's what it is just
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, you're a little freaky, aren't you?
you're a little
And
freaky
he's
and
like,
he's
well,
like
maybe.
he's like maybe I'm a mix of Donald Trump all right special teams
That was pretty funny. Well,
he was that's a good interview I need to watch the rest of it.
it is. It is. Well, thank you for listening to the Left Hand Backhand podcast. Uh, let us know who you think won the draft. Also, who you think would win in the 7-game series, J versus L. Share with your grandma. Do something nice for somebody else. Enjoy Memorial Day coming up this
Oh
long
yeah this
weekend
weekend
coming up. Pause. And Jeff, we'll pass to you for the final word.
final word is every time we do a podcast and we do one of these, I always think, you know, what's the end game here with the podcast, especially when I started and the end game has now developed into just let's see where this goes. And that's where our goal is. I think that's what your goal is. See where this takes us. We're just gonna do as many fun things as we can, put them out here. We want as many ideas, so let's just keep it going. Let's keep it rolling, you know? And yeah, love it. Let's go.
Couldn't have said it better
You could
unless
have.
I wrote it down. Lefty's out.